Craig, good morning. So what did the panel find?
Morning. Well, essentially, Virginia, the panel found that there were significant issues with the processes of the IPCC. So, for example, they're talking about appointing an executive director. They're talking about a better communication strategy. They want an executive committee appointed, maybe without a direct connection to other members of the IPCC, or even perhaps not including scientists, bringing in outsiders. I think the person under most pressure is Dr. Rajendra Pachauri, the chair of the IPCC. He's just about to begin a second 6-year term, and the independent review has said that the chair really should not be on for that long, that there should be term limits. Now, he is saying that he'll consider that he's open to whatever the UN wants him to do, but he would now like to bring in these changes. But essentially, the review committee did not look at the science so much, but rather the way the IPCC has been functioning, because it's been subject to all sorts of criticism.
Does the way that the IPCC has been functioning, though, according to this review, does that in some way cast doubt on the way that the IPCC has constructed and presented the science of climate change?
Well, the chair of the review committee, Princeton's Harold Shapiro, has said that overall, in our judgment, the IPCC's assessment process has been a success and has served society well. But on the other hand, the committee also says that the IPCC gave a slow and inadequate response to the criticisms, including a claim that the Himalayan glaciers would melt by 2035, the email issue that cropped up with lots of leaked emails, which critics jumped on, suggesting that data had been skewed. And accordingly, the independent review is saying that there needs to be a better process for dealing with conflict of interest in the IPCC, and they're saying that they think that the way the UN panel handles material that hasn't been subject to peer review also needs to be more rigorous and tightened up.
Such criticism, though, and implication that the system hasn't been working well is surely just going to feed into the arguments being made by the climate change deniers and the sceptics.
Sure, it'll be used by both sides, I suppose, for those who believe that the IPCC has been unfairly criticised. They can say, well, look, this was never examining the science of climate change. It was looking at the processes, the rigour applied by the UN panel. And just as you say, the critics of that panel will be able to say, well, look, it wasn't rigorous enough. Now there are these changes. And of course, I guess it's open for them to go on to say that it may be more of the same. I think the question now is the chair of this panel is under pressure, because it has clearly been said that there ought to be term limits for the chair. The IPCC is due to consider these findings in October in a conference in South Korea. It'll be interesting to see whether the UN, whether the Secretary General is prepared to wait that long before deciding to act.
And just finally and quickly, Craig McMurtrie, it's been another down day on Wall Street, and this phrase double-dip recession seems to be one that commonly falls from the lips of many observers in the United States at the moment.
Yes, even White House advisors are talking about it now. They're not talking about it in terms of a likelihood. They're saying, in fact, quite the reverse. It's unlikely. But even to hear them uttering it is a marked turnaround from where we were at a few months ago, where the Obama administration felt that it was on the up and up, that the American economy was recovering. Barack Obama's back here in town this week, and he's under fire from his own side. They're saying that his agenda this week is dominated by foreign policy, by Middle East peace talks. He's giving a speech to the nation tomorrow night on Iraq, and they're saying that what the focus ought to be on is jobs, 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 and trying to do something to fix the US economy. The question is, what can he do? Because they clearly cannot afford a second stimulus package.
Craig McMurtrie, good to talk to you again. Thanks so much.